Ah.
Hey, let me get the damn.
Yep.
No, let me just get some reverb.
Yeah. A little bit of
Yeah.
that.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
Nice little mellow intro.
That's when the shit hit the fan.
I really been a man, bitch. I used to move them packs on the Greyhound. Had a clique full of savages. Some ain't eating no more cause they ain't stay down. I never watch my niggas stop before we starve. We gon' rob foreign cars now, but we used to walk. The bitches on my dick now and used to talk. PTSD, the only reason that I sit walk. Had to face my demons before I moved up another level. So used to killing niggas, I ride around with a shovel. Put them in the dirt. I might even slide on a hearse. Where paranoia is when you got your burner in the church. Most of the time, I don't even gotta write my
In
first.
the church. In the church. In the church house.
I don't want war with Jesus.
Hey, yeah, you gonna get smirked. Fuck around and put him 6 feet.
In the church house. Just to kind of let y'all know. Goddamn. Goddamn.
Yeah, we shoot up the hearse. And this life that
Everything. This just
hit him where it hurt. I swear to God, we give his ass a blessing, give him hell on earth. Hey,
on earth.
I like that bar. I remember hearing this the first time. I was like, oh, hey. Going through tracks, I was like, hey, I like hell on earth.
Just sometimes you just got to. Sometimes you need a little bit of it in your life. Hey everybody, welcome to Just a Dope Ass Podcast here on this Saturday afternoon. Fall is upon us. It is Libra season, you bitch you. Just had to throw that in there. You know, you funky dog head, beastly broad.
I saw something. It was something I saw today, like on Legram, that was about that. It really wasn't about that. It was just some like in the feed. It was some chick shaking ass, but like she like said something about Libra season. I was like, okay, well that's cool.
You know what? I was thinking about this. When it comes to Libra season, maybe it's just me, but I feel like we're the only ones that don't be like, "Hey, look, it's Libra." I feel like we're the only ones that just be like, "Yeah, it's our time. What's up?"
I see like, and not to make this always a gender thing, but I see across the board, women always say like their thing, unless you're like a fucking Sagittarius. I've really never seen that shit before. But like,
Yeah,
I don't see dude Libra stuff. I don't really see dude Virgo stuff because like even like when I said some shit on my birthday, I was a little saucy. But even that, I posted like I went at, like my version was finding all the dope ass anime niggas who are Virgos. It was like, oh yeah, they do like give their characters birthdays. All right, cool. A lot of niggas are killers, but I'm okay with that. But yeah, I think that might go with like said sign because I know like if we're looking for like the extra signs, I feel like that falls in the fire water category. Um, I don't really know about air that much outside of my little house. I'm an earth nigga, boss ain't stay in the building. Like,
don't fuck with airheads. Don't fuck with airheads at all. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm mind my business and do my thing. But I don't. Yeah, I don't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's just us. I do notice that a lot. Some stuff that I do see that targets Libras. Every page or whatever has a insert meme Libra this reaction or Virgo this reaction. It's like, nah, that maybe for the lady folk, but for the men, like that's not accurate. But I also understand like on an individual basis, like we all react differently. I may not always react like a stereotypical Libra.
well, I always feel like I'm not like a super expert in this shit, but I do understand the concepts of like all these houses and all those like even though my favorite joke, whatever your apartment house or your fucking, double wide sits in Aries or whatever the fuck, all those things control different shits. So me and like 7 niggas next to me are technically Virgos on the surface. Your moon and your Venus and your fucking shooting star and your Orion's belt or whatever the tits, like all those things supposed to cover other things. So we all got different shit in different placements. We really not the same, nigga. I think like I really think your sun sign is like what you're most aspiring to be. Your moon sign is how your emotions function, and like your rising does some other fucking shit. Then it's completely. I don't know what the fuck the rest of them niggas do. They just along for the ride. I don't know what they do. And also, I feel like people also dump it. Like I'm not even gonna knock that it's like not something that has information and shit that can help you. But also, I'm not gonna hold you, man. If ma'am or sir, if you and I are Virgos and we all got everything in the same placement, but like your father just went for a pack of cigarettes and never came back, we're probably not the same. Like just
Yeah.
just there's certain all this shit. I just we got to give ourselves the complexity we deserve, but also not be like complex enough to make yourself a douchebag. Like there's a
Right. That's part of the experience that we often. I'm a full blown, but you're not factoring in your environmental factors. You're not factoring in your cultural influences. You're not factoring in your perception, your mental health state at that time. Like you're not factoring all these other things that contribute to your whatever dumb.
Yeah.
Right? I guess that's just the Libra in me that's like, hey, balance. Let's pay attention to that. Let's pay attention to how things are managed.
I feel like balance should just be like a fucking group project. Everybody fucking get on the balance train. Like
right. It should be. It's not necessarily sign exclusive, but we approach it as if it is.
Yeah, that's silly.
Oh yeah. Bring that with you. Come on in. Ain't nobody gonna arrest you. Ain't the cops in here. You straight. Come on in. Long as it ain't lit, you straight, huh? Oh, I ain't tripping. This is an open door policy. Nah, get out. You ain't talking, so you got to leave.
Oh yeah, like
completely joking. Like you can sit down, get yourself comfortable. If you want to talk, feel free. If you want to chill over there in the picnic area, you can enjoy the nice scenery that we have over there. Whatever you like to do.
It's very
gentlemen, we have our guest. He has arrived. Everybody, the song that we played on the intro is "He," and he shall introduce himself. Which mic you know, sir? That would be 4, I believe. So let me turn you up. Headphones is right there at the bottom, underneath.
Shoot that email.
Yeah. Slide on in there. We get you to introduce yourself. Welcome. Let everybody know who you are, where you come from.
I go by Trip, man. I'm from Ohio. I've been to LA like 2 years now. I'm out here to make music, get money, pretty much.
Sounds about right. Any excuse for somebody to leave Ohio, I 100% support. I went to Kent State, so I completely understand. But I love Ohio. TJ, he's got ties in Ohio as well. So you are amongst people that definitely understand Ohio a little bit more. Welcome to the West Coast, brother. How's it feel for your 2 years that you've been here?
Well, I picked an interesting time to move.
That you did.
I mean, I seen it a little bit before COVID hit. I got here probably 6 months before COVID hit.
Okay. You got your phone with you? What's your email so I can send you a link to where it'll show up? You can use this right here. Put yourself on the screen. What's the email?
Tripmain at Gmail.
M-A-I-L?
M-A-I-L at gmail.com.
Just because y'all heard that don't mean you should be sending this man random emails. Hey, listen to my... No. Leave that man alone. Leave that man alone. Let him mind his business. Let him do it.
We have received a call from the Podfather himself. Is it on the Roadcaster thing on the program or whatever?
The who?
The down there where it says like the audio and the levels when we talking. Does it on the speaker program? Does it say Roadcaster?
All the way at the bottom?
Yeah, where like our audio and like.
Are we talking about the speaker studio or are we talking about streaming?
The speaker studio, the studio one.
Okay. That one is on SC39H, whatever the fuck. And the pro webcam. Yeah, I don't.
Oh. That's got to be on Roadcaster for them to hear us through the software. So do we just start it over?
How? Way. I gotta listen.
I mean, like, because I know sometimes if it doesn't pick up because of how it started, then it doesn't register it. All right.
I didn't hear nothing that he said.
All right. Thank you, my brother.
Right.
So if all right, got you. If the input and output at the bottom don't both say Roadcaster, like if you open up the tab and when it comes down, if Roadcaster does that pop up as an option?
Yeah. Roadcaster does not pop up as an option. Then
it won't be coming through clearly through the software, so we would have to start it over, and then it would just run. I think the StreamYard would stay.
Yeah, of course it is. It's gonna stay.
That audio would stay, and it would just start over as two audios from for the sound part.
So gotta exit out the Spreaker studio.
Yeah, and then because the soundboard is all on, then when you cut it back on, it'll register it, and then you'll be able to
see. This is the one thing that I appreciate, like the YouTube people that are seeing this live. You guys get to see what we have to go through when it comes to technical difficulties and setbacks and all that other fun shit that comes with running these types of situations. Thankfully, Keith is always watching to make sure that we are doing shit.
Keith is really the all-seeing eye of fucking like, because that he was not even like he's somewhere doing something with life. I was like, I heard the shit.
Like he can hear it and be like, no, that ain't right. Which it would be lovely to have that type of stuff situated, but comes with the territory. We're not doing an intro again because you guys are watching live, and those that aren't watching live, you'll hear the audio on the app, so it'll sound like we just continue to go on with what we were doing. Why? Because that's kind of how shit has to happen. But before we were rudely interrupted by technical difficulties and whatnot, I guess I named this episode like accurately. The title of today's episode is "Hey, what the fuck?"
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, yep. Hey, what the fuck is?
Hey, what the fuck? Like, and
I actually had like a mad "Hey, what the fuck" day today. Like just moment, not day. I shouldn't say the whole day, but like moment of today was "Hey, what the fuck?"
Just one moment.
It was just one, because like since I'm out here, like they're like my mom is like looking to grab some shit, do some generational wealth, but in the meantime while she's like putting that together, like we were like, okay, well shit, since I'm out here, just kind of see like what the little prices are like, just for like if I want to throw some money at some shit. So I did like 3 or 4 like little apartment things today, and over by the Galleria, like Ritzy McRitz Town, and I had the biggest what the fuck, because it was like, so we're like, okay, what the price is, whatever. It was like 28 to 3 for rent. And I was like, all right, so let's see what this, this shit is hitting for. This was the worst fucking apartment complex I've ever, like this shit was, nigga, it was a closet size space. And I was like, y'all really gonna try to sell me for the fact that the Galleria across the street, like, this is pretend horse shit ass fucking. It was terrible, man. Like, I'm not gonna say the place because salute to them. Hopefully,
you got business with them.
I mean, I don't, but like, I don't really feel like. But it was just like, yo, you're little. Like, I've never seen. Like, I live in fucking LA, nigga. Like, this is a blatant. We're actively charging you because of where you're next to, not because this is a really like good $1 place. And I was like, you niggas is crazy.
But that's the real estate game, or game in general, for a lot of different places. Like they're gonna upsell you. They're not gonna show you the actual value of something. It's just gonna be what it is, and you got to
upsell this dick. Be like, look, 3 out of 5, man. I'm gonna knock this shit through the floor, man. I'm gonna upsell you because those 3 is good. The last 2, they're gonna be all right, but they ain't gonna be great. They're just be. I'm gonna get you to the promised land. I'm not gonna take you on the tour. Other 3, I'm gonna take you on the tour.
That's bullshit. You shouldn't have to deal with that. The whole point of you being out there in the first place. There we go. The whole point of you being there in the first place is so you don't have to go bullshit. Oh.
Oh, we lit.
All of that on mute.
Honestly, the technical difficulty episodes be like my favorite episodes because
Wow.
there be moments like this, like, oh my God, man, yo, because I don't really know how to act like a nigga who knows what he's doing yet. Nobody's like, oh my God, man, podcast. I'll be like, man, go look at episode 230 and then go look at episode one, whatever. Like, I kind of know, like, relax and do the thing. These are the episodes that I've been telling people go do the thing and stop asking me shit because
Yeah.
relax, you can do the thing. I promise
I
you.
understand that. These are the episodes that let people know, like, this ain't no edited. Somebody took 2 days to like maneuver their YouTube video and throw it up there to make it look perfect for you. Like, nah, this is real time. If something don't go right, this is how it goes. This is part of the industry. I'll say for you, like when it comes to creating your music or doing whatever you got to do for social media, because I saw you have some YouTube videos up, like, how do you go about omitting some of the fuck ups that other people may see, or do you just let them see it?
Shit. I mean, I don't know. I just study a lot of other rappers and what route they use. And like you said, certain mistakes or whatever, and just try not to make them. I don't know. I'm probably made some, you know. Like I've been rapping like 10 years, and I just now put out my first music videos.
Okay.
Probably like 4 months ago.
All right.
You feel me? Some cats they might say you should have been putting out videos, but I ain't want to have like them really grimy looking ass. You feel me? Like look like you
That
shot
makes sense.
flip phone or some shit. You know?
Which is funny as
that'd be
shit.
cool, so
Right.
people can see your growth. But at the same, I don't know.
Like something in you is like, nah, I don't want to put that. That's not the foot I want to put forward. I
Right,
could,
yeah.
but that ain't what I'm
like,
trying
Because
to.
at the same time, I've been mixing and mastering my first 6 mixtapes
Mhm.
before these 2 albums I just dropped. So if you listen to those, you can hear the growth in me, like as a producer,
Right.
and as a rapper.
I'm impressed because he said mastered and mixed. When there's some niggas is like this whole process is like some a little bit of a lost art because it's like some niggas like I rapped a good song and then I put it out today. So I think it's cool.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you can do that, that's cool. I wish I can do that shit. You feel me? Record my shit and get it out the same day. But
Is it just a dedication to like I like going over it and over it, or is it you know? Because some people just like I made it, I did it, or whatever. Are you like somebody who critiques your work? Because I used to be like that even with this. Like, is it
man,
like an over critiquing of things before you put it out?
yeah, I probably have a song for like damn near 6 months before anybody hear it. For real. Because over that time where I'll be playing it in my car or when I'm at work or something, and I might hear like I might have mispronounced something or might want to go change a line or something. You know.
I saw somebody say something. It was like there was an interview with like the Alchemist, and he was talking about that, like the timing of music. Are you big on timing of your music instead of just like
Yeah,
I made this now, but it might not be a good look for right now.
right. Yeah, I try to do that with all my music. Make music that ain't gonna be stuck in like a certain time period.
Mhm.
You feel me? Like, oh, it sound like you use beats from like this type wave, like when everybody was using like Detroit type beats,
Right. The drill beats and shit like that.
Yeah, you feel me? I wanted to be able to like tell I was in that time period when I recorded this album.
Man's trying not to pigeonhole himself, which I can appreciate. But
Yeah.
when it comes to like recreating your own sound, what motivates most of the things that you do musically?
I feel like I do stuff that I'm not good at. You feel me? And try to get better at it. For real. Because my first album, I wrote that. On my first mixtape, I wrote that. And I felt like I took too long to write it.
Mhm.
Because I wouldn't really have free time to sit there and write music. I got other stuff going on.
Right.
You know, so then my next 2 mixtapes, I freestyled them, like a couple lines at a time.
Okay.
You know, so then that gave me the ability to like make music faster because sometimes I might be in the studio with cats and I'll be taking longer to write mine. But now I ain't got to worry about writing it because I can just go off the dome, couple rhymes.
I appreciate that progression. I appreciate you mostly because on the show we always talk about like if it makes you uncomfortable, jump into it. Like do what makes you uncomfortable and learn how to
I
get
like
better.
that. You feel me?
Right.
I like stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I can appreciate about you saying that because most people will just like I'm gonna fall into whatever the sound is at the time, or I'm gonna do whatever's gonna make me money. That's what I'm focused on. And you're like, nah, I'm gonna do some shit that's a little bit different. That's gonna push me out my comfort zone to help propel me to wherever I'm trying to get to in the end.
Yeah, because I mean, you can do a song or something that might be in a certain way. You don't want to be just known for that. You
Right.
feel me? Like people identify you as that sound. Like I feel like you listen to my music and every project really sound different.
Mhm.
I don't feel like I'm rapping the same or something because I start to use more melodies and then auto tune and just different stuff, different rhyme patterns.
Would you say like each mixtape, each album, everything that you're putting out speaks to like whatever mindset you're in at that time, or what you're going through personally, or like what would influence the type of content that you're putting out there?
Um, I would really rap about my real life. I just try to make it relatable and entertaining.
Right.
That's really it. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all I do. Just rapping about my real life. And I don't really think about nothing outside of that. Like,
Craziest story that you've been through that you put on a song. Since we talk about your real life, what's the craziest thing you've been through in real life that you turned into a song?
sheesh, man, it's a lot.
he like life has been
I mean, I don't know. I think everything happened for a reason, but one of the craziest things, I got locked up with my pops one time, and we shared the same jail, so that was really weird.
Tell me about that, please.
Let me see. I mean, it's over and done with. So we ride around in a car,
Mhm.
get pulled over, or whatever. There's some stuff in the car that ain't supposed to be in there.
Right.
Um,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
That's
Yeah,
the word, man.
yeah. So we end up getting locked up over it, and we go to the same cell. You
Okay.
feel me?
So it wasn't
There
like,
for a little minute too.
okay, it wasn't like he was already in there and you got in there like, damn,
No, it's
pops,
like we
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 were
like
together.
the same case. You feel me? Like we going to court together.
Okay.
You feel me? Like they up my bond because charges that he did before I was born type shit.
Yikes. I
You
don't
get about bonding, like
right.
we bonded, nigga.
Right, that kind of bonding. Did that kind of bonding.
Right.
I feel you.
Struggle and strife. We talk about trauma bonding. For those that have heard us talk about that on the podcast before, when we talk about mental health struggles, trauma bonding, that kiss my ass, you and your boyfriend went through some shit. That is trauma bonding for real. Like we really had to go through some struggles together. How did he coach you through that? Or
Um,
like what advice did he give you as or a takeaway or something that you learned from that experience?
I don't. He ain't really. I don't know. Like he really kind of like old school. You know, like I feel like the generation before mine, like our parents, they ain't really in tune with that kind of stuff.
Right. Right.
But at the same time, I feel like that's why I am the way that I am.
Right.
I'm gonna be the exact opposite.
Most definitely. That contributes. If you could, Lord forbid, good Lord forbid, you ended up in the same situation, say with your child. But if you put yourself in his shoes, what would you tell yourself? As far as since I didn't learn certain things from him in that moment, what would you give yourself from as a takeaway to kind of help yourself through it?
I mean, what would I tell my kid in that situation?
Well,
What would I tell myself?
what would you tell yourself if you were in your dad's shoes, so to speak?
Um, sheesh. I don't know. Just need to get just more focus or something. Like, just get in a better situation. Like, just better yourself. You know, that's really it.
That's definitely a moment where look,
Because I don't really like to be like judgmental or nothing over
right.
nobody, but just try to better yourself.
If
You
it,
know, because some people don't even attempt to or acknowledge the fact they need to better themselves.
yeah.
You know, so at least recognize that you need to better yourself and then put action into it. That's what I would do or say.
How do you do that? Because I know there are some people that a big thing that we talk about, actually I talk about personally, is like a lot of people because like you might have come from say our parents who didn't have even the ability to articulate that like I need to better myself. So if you come upon like you recognize I need to better myself, what makes you actually put it to action? Because I think people don't pay attention that there's a group out there that just because they go, well, I need to work on myself. And it's like, all right, man, what's your step two? So how do you get to your step two? Because I feel like a lot of people just stop at, hey man, I said I need to better myself. And you know what? I said I fucked these bitches, baby. Like I didn't say I was gonna stop fucking them. I just was letting you know that I fucked them.
I mean, like first, I think the first step is recognizing it. Recognize that change need to be made, and then as far as putting into action, you gotta probably think about why you want to do it before you do it. So like I feel like your reason kind of got to be important,
Definitely.
and then that alone should be enough motivation to put some action to it.
See, for those of you that listen to us on a regular basis, this man says the same shit in a different way. We say it all the time. Like we always talk about like questioning yourself, asking yourself why. It's easy to be like, I want to do this. Okay, but why? And then ask yourself why as many times until you get to the root of the situation. So even you mentioning like
I try to be motivated by good shit. Like I want to do this so I can shit on this person.
Right.
That's kind of weird.
Not being ego based. Damn, that's something that we talk about on the show too. Holy shit.
I like it.
It's wonderful. Like every time we have somebody come in here on the show, they end up saying stuff. We don't script none of this. We don't go over none of this before the show. They end up saying the same shit that we talk to you motherfuckers about every week. And it's just good to hear other people are putting these type of things, maybe not worded the same way that we do, but the same type of mindset is in all these different types of people that are trying to accomplish something better or are doing something that's on a high level. Like no matter what type of person we talk to, they have a similar mindset. So there you go, sir.
Yes.
Give you some love, some claps.
Yeah, that's a good mindset to have.
What do you think? Go ahead, TJ.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna piggyback off of because I like that I do kind of like that it was an easy 2-step process. Like you find your why, like why you want to do that. And, for people to hold on to that. Cause I think motherfuckers like, I feel like if you hold on to your why, my favorite shit is to use workout analogies. Like I want to lose weight. I might wake up one day and feel like I want to run a 5K and realize that's not for me. So I'll start lifting weights. That's not for me. I'll diet, realize that's for me. In the sense of bettering yourself, somebody going, my why is this. All right, nigga, you can take all the time you want to figure out how to get to your why. Just don't ever, as long as I feel like if you hold that's the simple part. You can get into the complexities of how you get to that why, but figuring out that's it. That's the end goal. Just grip that bitch and you can ride the wave on how you get there.
I'll say for right now, when you talk about having a good reason, having a good why, what would you say your why is right now at this point in time in your life?
Like me?
Mm-hmm.
My why as far as what?
Anything that you're trying to accomplish. So what is your why for music? What is your why for being a better individual personally?
I think that's just knowing you can be better. I feel like until you ain't here no more, you can always be better than you was yesterday at whatever you're doing or the type of person you is. You can learn something. I like learning new shit every day.
Okay.
Like every song, I feel like be better than the last one. You feel me? That's really it. Just try to be better. That's really enough for me. Enough motivation, just knowing you can.
I appreciate that. From a healthy mindset, just being able to understand that some shit is possible. Right. There's a lot of people that's floating through life thinking like nothing is possible or this isn't possible. I could never get to this point. So even for you saying like my basic why is just that it can be done. I don't know when it's gonna be done, but
that's
it can.
Everything. That's for getting money. Like niggas want to get millions of dollars. Like I'm trying to go get that shit, bro. I've seen selling niggas that did it.
Right.
I feel like I'm gonna be one of them.
That's a type of, we've talked about like knowing your worth and having like a better abundant mindset especially as Black men. Because a lot of people don't necessarily, kind of like what you were saying, like they don't tell us that growing up. Like we just have to be tough and just kind of deal with shit. But being able to understand, like, no, you can have and be anything you want to be. There's a world of things out there that you can accomplish, and you have plenty of time to accomplish it. You don't have to do it at a specific time. Like that type of mindset is healthy for us. It helps us become better individuals. So the fact that even if I just figured it out on my own, I'm still glad that I figured it out. I don't care if I get 1 million at 55, 60 or 70. As long as I get it, that's the most important part.
For real, or even if you might motivate somebody else to try to go get it.
Right.
That's cool too.
Big fucking mood.
Continuing that cycle within our community of not like having people think from a space of lack, giving them the opportunity to understand, like, I don't care how I motivate you, as long as I motivate you to not stay the nigga that you are right now.
Right. You feel me? Like, if I motivate you to stop smoking cigarettes, bro, like,
small victories.
eat less meat. You feel me? Eat less dairy.
Right.
Something like that.
Whatever works, whatever's going to help you out, which we got to do. That's the eating part. That's something that we definitely have to get better at within our community. Side note on a personal note, just it's too many people I'm seeing as far as black men are concerned that are having like colon and prostate cancer. Please, oh please, oh please, pay attention to what the fuck y'all eating and get better at that. I'm not saying give
I
up
don't
meat,
really
but
think that type should be hereditary, bro. I think it would be eating patterns.
yes, most definitely. I'm glad you said that too, because you'd be like, nah, that running my
Man, baby.
y'all family been eating the same shit for generations. That's why it's running in your family, but that's not hereditary. That's bad decisions of generational traumas passed down. Hey, eat this chitlin burrito, baby.
Yeah, eating what you shouldn't have been eating.
Right.
Some people wasn't eating before they started to eat that shit.
When it comes to the eating, is that something that you figured out, or like a healthier lifestyle nutritionally? Is that something that you had before you came out here?
Yeah, for sure. I was vegetarian for like 6, 7 years. I
Mhm.
started eating meat once I moved back here
Okay.
because it's like so many food spots. That shit's so tempting. But I started it because I was young, bro. I was probably like 19,
Okay.
and it'd be like 3 p.m. and I felt sleepy.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that ain't right. That's weird. But
Right.
then I realized I'm not really drinking water. I'm drinking fucking sodas and iced teas and stuff like that all day. No water at all, Gatorades. So I switched that. Notice my energy change. I can go a whole day, stay up mad late, and still be cool the next day.
Right.
It's just off that alone. And then
That's inventory is important.
watching documentaries and shit, learning more as you go. Like once I see some information, I can't really ignore it. So that's really it. That's why I stopped drinking milk. Like I don't really use milk and nothing for real. Not my cereal.
Yeah, like all black people are lactose intolerant. It's not all of us, but there's a reason why all of our bodies are like, yeah, I don't like this.
And there's alternatives. It's better.
It ain't even got to be milk. You know what? When I think about Pops and Friday, we put some water on that damn shit. Like we all thought that shit was nasty. Now you think about it, like he might have been on to something. It may not be necessarily water, but it doesn't have to be milk. It can be something else.
I use almond milk, and almond milk basically almonds and water.
Yep. They just cut them up, strain them, and what you get afterwards, that's your milk. But it's like we
I fuck
deconditioning our mind.
That's true.
What'd you say?
I said no. You're right. I fuck some almond milk up. That's true.
And as long as it ain't dairy, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll slip on some cheese.
Right. I do cheese and butter, but I don't do like yogurts or.
But I think even that's the thing. Like with us, I feel like there are things that besides just diets and a lot of things we intake that are terrible and bad for you. But I feel like niggas just always go like, damn, I gotta stop eating fucking sandwiches. Like, nah, man, like just maybe don't eat, 12 plates of oxtails this week. Like, eat that shit sparingly and then wean yourself off. If you choose to go all the way vegan and vegetarian, cool. But it ain't no reason you need to eat all the oxtail burritos and fucking fried chicken shit this week. You could have a cheat day. You could have like once or twice a week where you get off, but like taking that mindset like throughout, like, you become a disciplined person that assists you in a variety of ways. All this shit can correlate and interconnect. Niggas just be like, I can't not eat at motherfucking. Yeah, you can, nigga, just not 6 times a week. You want to go for 2, maybe 2. Fuck it.
When I was vegetarian, like at least one day of the week, I'll probably go get some Wingstop or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just be having that craving, but it's just the fact I wouldn't eat meat every day or with every meal. Just makes little adjustments.
Right. Balance and moderation. Now, from not just food, but in our community, why do you think a lot of dudes or people in general struggle with balance and moderation?
I don't think people be recognizing a lot of certain patterns,
Mhm.
whether it's like in the eating patterns or just in the world in general.
Okay.
You got to be able to recognize certain shit that keep like repetitive shit. You got to be able to recognize that. I don't think some people, I don't know, some motherfuckers don't see it or they see it and just don't care.
Don't know, don't show, or don't care about.
I think
Basically.
I definitely think is that like you don't know what you like weren't taught. Like if you come, we got generations and generations that don't recognize patterns. They just, this is how it is. And it's like, you ever look this way? What was that fucking shit that was That goofy shit that they taught us in college to make you seem like you're supposed to be smart. The allegory of the cave, like y'all could turn around and walk outside. Like you just keep looking at this like this is all it is. If you just stood the fuck up, it's a whole bunch of shit this way. Niggas only looking right at the wall like goofies.
I think partly of what you saying, like people aren't self-aware. Like they can't figure out patterns within themselves or what they doing because you're not paying attention to yourself in the first place. You're paying attention to everything but yourself, and you missing the patterns of the shit that you're doing. For yourself, what are like some things that you're trying to get better at when it comes to balance and moderation, or recognizing your own patterns and changing them?
Get sheesh. I don't know. Like everything, man. Like
you're like, I gotta uproot all this shit.
Man, listen, like I feel like I could be just a better person in society in general. I could go get more money. Like I could be better in personal relationships. Like I could be better at my music, everything, bro.
Do you feel like whatever you struggle with in all these different areas, they stand out to you, or do you look for things to fix to make them better?
I think I might look for certain adjustments. Like I see this right here. Like say with music, if I want to improve in my music, like one thing I can do is get a better engineer to improve my sound quality, or look at different ways to distribute my music to get more of the profits. That's what I ended up doing, getting a distribution that lets me get 100% of my money from my streams.
Man's on top of his business already. I'll make sure y'all not stealing my shit.
I'm getting all that money. I ain't splitting with nobody.
A fucking mood. I love hearing with niggas who make music say that shit because it just we've been hearing motherfuckers get like assaulted since the fucking 80s, and I'm like, all right, man, great. I just like, can somebody please tell me how they got their motherfucking paperwork with this music together? So
hey,
yeah, man, I applaud that shit.
Paperwork, something else. Boy.
That's not to be super black conspiracy man, but I feel like that's a jargon they create on purpose to make sure we're not paying attention to trick us out of our shit.
And when you elite, that's the thing. You got to really pay attention. Like you got to really go over shit. Don't just pay for some lawyer or something, bro.
Right.
Read that shit too.
Self-aware, being aware of the pattern. We got, like you said, TJ, from the 80s up until now, we have countless situations where people have created a pattern of not paying attention and getting dicked out their money. And for me to learn that, I need to, what's that fine print at the bottom? Like, why you make that shit small on purpose? Now blow that up so I could really read that. Because down there may be the reason why I'm only getting 25% of the shit that I'm working hard for. Like, let me actually pay attention to what you're doing. Then I could see, oh, you trying to trick me on my shit. I don't even want to go over this no more. I'm gonna find somebody else. The fact that you had to try and manipulate the situation, you could have just came to me and say, hey, this is our offer and went through it. But since you're trying to manipulate the situation, I don't need to be here in the first place. But you got to be aware to begin with, as opposed to, I'm getting money, bitch, somebody trying to sign me and I'm about to get this and I'm about to get that. Like, but you won't even know the type of money you're getting first. Pay attention to your deal, champ. Pay attention to the people that are around you. So shout out to you for being able to have the business wherewithal to say, nah, I want to get as much as I can. Let me be aware enough to pay attention. Where do you think you learned that from? Like, is that something that you already knew about, or is that something that you kind of learned along the way?
I just see where a lot of other people fucked up at.
Thank you.
I pay a lot of attention to other people's mistakes. But it don't matter what you're doing, whether you're an artist or you a basketball player or you somebody that I know personally. You know, like if you make a mistake, I try to not make that same mistake.
Go ahead, TJ.
That's bar. Like a whole. I mean, I've gotten some mad fucking like debates or arguments with niggas so I know to make music, and I'll be coming off pompous, but I'm like, he just said, nigga, Hope did that, so you ain't gotta go through that. Like, I just seen 6 niggas do this. Maybe I'm gonna go left. I just seen all you niggas go right. I'm gonna just try left and see what the fuck happens. Like, I know, like, you know, a lot of the music shit is, you know, we all come from certain environments, and niggas just jump on the first whatever the fuck that's thrown their way for a deal or for notoriety or for whatever, as opposed to, nah, I'm gonna just kind of grind a little harder for the extra however long. And on the back end, I'm gonna be like set, like unnecessarily comfortable. Like if I want to wake up and make a fucking country album comfortable. So I usually applaud that. And like, you know, I don't know everybody's situation, but I guess what you kind of just answered it, because it's like, what makes you so? Because I know that takes a certain amount of willpower to just like maybe look at certain opportunities and go, nah. Like, what developed the patience to go like, I'll take the long road as opposed to this easy short one.
I just feel like the outcome would be more beneficial. For real. You gonna have less people dipping in your pockets or feeling like you owe them something or whatever the case might be. Like I just want mines to just be mines. You feel me? Like that's really it. And I don't want to have to owe nobody nothing and nobody be like, hey, I did this for this. You feel me?
That man came to LA and grasped that Nipsey concept real quick. All money in, goddammit. I ain't got time to be, unless it's for a business investment that's gonna build this up to be bigger. I don't have time to be wasting no extra dividends.
Yeah. Smart.
As it should, super smart. That's how things should go. I'll say this when it comes to, so you saying you from Ohio. What specific city you want to shout out for Ohio?
Youngstown.
Youngstown. Definitely close to Kent. Up the road by another hour down the road from Kent.
Yeah, by Cleveland, Akron,
Columbus, Northeast Ohio.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Shout out to Youngstown. Shout out to bros out there at Youngstown State. That's a tough place to come from. Yeah. Big factory town, but ain't no factories, so ain't no jobs. Everybody's struggling.
I see what happened. At first, when I was younger, I'm like, how the fuck does this get like this? I used to wonder how the city is so fucked up when I was young. And then I seen all these buildings that ain't nobody using. These is old warehouses, old steel factories and shit. And that's why all these houses getting torn down, because niggas done lost their money. They probably couldn't pay for the upkeep of these houses.
Yep. I think that, especially with Youngstown being like having a big black population, that contributed to a lot of people leaving and having to move somewhere else. Cause like, I don't have no work to get here. I gotta go somewhere else. I gotta move. I seen the same thing in Akron with them having all the tire plants and some of them shutting down and people having to move. But just, when it comes to Youngstown, that's a pretty rough, like they lost a lot of business. Anybody that's not familiar with Youngstown, y'all can look up and see how that community was affected so much by the factories not being there. It's amazing that you had the ability to start understanding it early and then get yourself out of that situation, because there's definitely some people that ain't never made it out.
Yeah, for sure. I just seen I paid attention to other people's mistakes. Just recognized certain patterns and made the right adjustments, I guess.
How do you set yourself up to be that blueprint now? So like you do a lot of learning from other people and you're like, I also want to be a catalyst to people learning and bettering themselves at some point in time. How are you starting to set up or set the breadcrumbs from other people to follow them? Like, do you tell people that on your social media? Do you have conversations with young up and coming rappers? Like, how do you put yourself in that lane?
For sure. Like if I got a homie or somebody that's rapping, I'll be like, hey, this is what I use to get my music out there. You feel me? This is how I set up. Like this is how I run my Instagram. This is how I might get my engagement up. You know, I try to like whatever game that I might know, I give it to the next
nigga. People, you see this? Looking at me. You hear that? The whole like crabs in the barrel shit that y'all say about black people. That shit
like you're not really gonna get far if you like that.
Exactly.
Or even if you do, you probably gonna lose that shit, bro.
Yep. I think one that's you demonstrating something outside of the stereotype that gets thrown on us as black people, like, oh, we have a crabs in a barrel mentality. It's like, no, there's a lot of people that's doing what you're doing. Like, I'm cool giving away free game. You're gonna have all the gems. Like, just because I give you the gems don't mean you're gonna turn it into jewelry. That's up to you what you do with it. But I don't mind sharing it. I don't mind being a resource to you. I don't mind, lending a hand to you or just having a conversation with you. I think that's major. I think that's something we need more of, just having those comfortable conversations or uncomfortable conversations that let people know like real shit, as opposed to like, nah, come to my masterclass. I'm gonna charge you $150 to get this information that I could probably Google and get for free. Like, I'm gonna just sit here and have a conversation with you and you do whatever with it.
Yeah.
The uncomfortable ones is where the shit is at, though.
Most definitely.
Them the ones.
That's kind of why we have like here we have the open door policy. Like we want people to come in and sit down and have a conversation. I don't give a damn if you're a homeless person off the street or like whatever your background is. Coming in here and being comfortable asking, like uncomfortable questions, answering uncomfortable questions, talking about stuff you wouldn't regularly talk about. Like any radio station you go to, they could tell me about your album, tell me about your single. No, I want to know about the person. Have conversations about who people really are, and that gives them the opportunity to share their experience and really learn individuals. That's
I
the
like seeing who people like. I like learning people's perspectives.
Mhm.
Like even if it's different than mine, I want to try to understand your perspective type shit.
What's an uncomfortable type a person that will make you really uncomfortable, but you want to be around them to learn more? Like what type of mindset would that be?
I would probably say all those Donald Trump people. Just to see what the fuck they be thinking about. Because to really be going that hard about something,
Right.
oh, that was almost like a religion for them
Yeah.
with the red hats and everything.
TJ, you out there with them folk?
Like
Man,
people
them
like,
niggas, them niggas not talking to me. Them niggas ain't saying shit to me. Like I've been like they around, but like I got a couple. What you want to say? Nothing. Where you guys from? Thank you. Like but I think that's a good perspective, and I think it might be a conversation for another day because I can get convoluted. But like the difference between an uncomfortable conversation and like conversations that are just like rude or belittling, because like uncomfortable is I have this set of beliefs, and this conversation can either bolster them up or tear them down. And if they can get torn down, then they probably should have been. Like that's something that could have been holding you back.
I mean, but like a lot of them believe in like the deportation of immigrants, and that's really weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of them, it's the adopting a mindset without really doing the research to see what it stands for.
Yeah.
Like that, the group
But
think.
you see, it's a disadvantage to some people. So why do you want it to happen to them so bad?
The funny part I will highlight, even with them or in throughout history, when it comes to us as people of color in general, you don't realize it hurts you too. Because if I'm a successful person, say I'll use Texas as an example, because that's where TJ is, and it's a lot of them motherfuckers out there.
Tons.
If I'm if I'm looking at it like I'm a Trump supporter, I'm this, I'm that. Let's deport all these immigrants. Let's do this. Let's do that. Illegal aliens. Let's get rid of them. But these are the people you hire to build your house. These are the people that you hire to clean your house. These are the people you hire to cut your grass and do landscaping. These are the people you get your fruits and vegetables from. Like you don't realize like that affects you as well because you're not about to go out there and do the work that they doing. So why would you want to get rid of something that benefits you simply because I'm buying into a bias that they're not like me and I don't like them?
What was that line from? Fucking what's that shit? Fight Club? Like, we watch you when you sleep, and it's like they do, nigga. Like motherfuckers, I got this big house. Motherfuckers will wake up one day and say, fuck. If they just all woke up and said, "Fuck it," you niggas would be in some deep shit. That's weird.
It's beyond weird, but that's the disconnectedness. That kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, as far as people not recognizing cycles and not being aware. Like what we experienced when it came to the whole Trumpsters or whatever the fuck you want to call them. That was just a repeat of a cycle that we've gone through in this country as black people between white people many
Right.
times
I seen
over.
that pattern too. Like, and I don't know. I'm like, how do y'all not see what's going on?
It's right. It's been history has been repeating itself. At some point, y'all don't want to do something different.
Yeah.
You don't want to change because we're gonna keep going through the same shit and it's gonna continue to be the same result. And then we look at because we have better technology, we've progressed. It's like, nah, we're actually going backwards because we keep making the same mistakes over and over and over. People are just not self-aware, which although we are blasting a lot of the stuff that we create on social media, I will say that contributes to it a little bit. Like everybody's trying to be seen and heard, but nobody's really trying to learn. Nobody's aware of themselves. I'm just aware of how my image gets presented to everybody else. For you being somebody that has multiple platforms that you utilize, what would you present to people when it comes to telling them to be more aware of themselves as opposed to looking for the gratification?
To be more aware. Shit. I would say don't get too caught up in the social media likes and all of that shit and attention on there. You know, if you want to post on there, cool, but don't really let that shit really like be too pressed about the likes and views or who supporting and all of that type shit.
Yeah, I think that's something I know we struggled with that in the beginning when we first started, like almost 2 years ago. Like just worried about like, damn, who's gonna see this? How we gonna do that? And you realize like, nah, just create a safe space for people to talk. Just have your conversation. At some point, people gonna gravitate towards it. You can do all of the formalities and stuff behind the scenes, but don't get so caught up in the gratification immediately. Give people the opportunity to just take in whatever
Right.
image that you're trying to push.
They gotta fill you out. You feel me?
Right.
Might not want to just go supporting something they don't really understand what it is at the same time.
Right. Like
I know I'm like that personally.
Right. Like the Trump supporters. I'm supporting some shit that I don't understand. He's white like me and he got money.
It's not even the fact that they support Trump. It's like the ideology that comes with supporting him. Like off the rip being against like all types of immigration for the most part.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of think of them almost in the reverse. I feel like they picked Trump because they understand the racist idea and bigoting ideologies, and they needed a scapegoat for it. I sometimes think motherfuckers that pick Biden don't understand the ideologies like behind what they've set up now. Like they're gonna save the day, and it's like, now look at how we doing. Now what did you really sign up for? Even this vax shit, like, you know, I'm not on the whole pro or against whatever, but people are how they're acting is like, what you really supporting though? Because
I mean, I feel like they both supporting the same shit in one way or like look what's going on with the immigration now.
Right.
You feel me? And you don't need politics to divide the country.
At
You
all.
use the vaccine now, bro. Like you see people mad if you vaccinated or they mad if you unvaccinated.
Right. Either way, somebody's
so you don't
gonna
even need
hate you.
politics to do
Nope.
it no more.
I don't even think I think politics is like the mask that we pay attention to, but there's other things that are at play that are to divide us. And because we're so
Right.
focused on one thing that we miss all the other shit.
Like I said, there's certain patterns you gotta recognize.
Most definitely. As we look to transition out of here for the day, what's some last words you want to give the people? Make sure you plug yourself, let them know your information. We'll just go ahead and say whatever you feel like saying to the people as we get on up out of here.
Shit. I'll just stay focused. Be on your shit. Check me out. All streaming platforms. Tripman, TRIPMAN, 2 E's. Instagram, SoundCloud. I got 6 mixtapes. Apple Music, Spotify, all that. I got 2 albums I just put out. And I got music videos. Check me out on YouTube.
Let the people know you'll see YouTube so they can check out your music. Do you have a specific page or you just want them to just put
YouTube,
your name in?
YouTube.com/Tripman, TRIPMAN, 2 E's.
Fair enough. TJ, what you want to tell the people as we get on about you?
Hey man, listen to this nigga music. Listen to us weekly. Don't be weirdos. Black people are dope.
Black people are dope. Black people are the dopest. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's raw, authentic episode of all the fuckery that goes on trying to get y'all this content. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. We appreciate you supporting us. We appreciate everybody watching, even though TJ decided he wanted to move to Texas in the middle of shit that we supposed to be
doing. Man, I'm out here just trying to look. TGM might need a fucking Texas hub, and we could be that. I'm out here setting up shit potentially for the future.
Mm-hmm. I heard all that. It sounds real good. Like you made it sound real good for the people, but I'm sure Keith heard that. Shout out to Keith and everybody else supporting. He gonna put your ass to work while you out there. But thank you for tuning in to Just a Dope Ass Podcast. We will see y'all Monday. Yep. I'm gonna be surprised.
I'm gonna come home tomorrow. Keith will send a nigga some homework. I'm sure.
Yep. As you should.
Hey, cut this shit off. Cut all the hey, cut this shit off.
Keith, you didn't hear none of that from him. You heard it from me. Send that nigga some homework. Put him to work. But we'll see y'all on Monday. Shout out to our guest Trip, man. Make sure you support him on all the social media platforms. We will see y'all on Monday night. Bye, bitch.
If I ain't chasing money, it just don't feel right. Your words don't match body language, it just don't feel right. Oh, it just don't feel right. It just don't feel right.
That was cool.
I think we're still live on the thingy.
We are.
Oh,
why? Because I can. This is all the stuff we're gonna save for Patreon. No, I'm just kidding.